Flosstube, I'm back already, and I actually wrote down everything I want to say today, so I won't keep forgetting stuff, and this may be a longer video, we'll see. So I want to start with an FFO, and that is this bookmark, which if you saw my first video, you will recognize. Oops. And on camera, it just looks kind of like a red blob. But in real life, you can kind of see the back stitching a little bit better. And it's a drake, and like here's its head, and its neck, and its wings, and its tail comes around here. Anyway, I don't actually like it that much. Like, I should have used a smaller count of Ada, because you can really see, like, the coverage isn't very good. But at work, they're holding a silent auction for the social club, and they do things like, you know, occasionally bring in ice cream and snacks and, you know, do fun things like that. And I partake in all of those things. And so I'm like, well, you know what, maybe someone will want this. Because I'm always, like, I work at a call center, and the rules are kind of, you know, they're fairly relaxed if you don't get caught. So I'm often working on, like, small things. Usually I do, like, origami and stuff at work, and everyone, like, loses their mind over all of the crafty things that I do. So even though I don't personally like this, I think someone will pay a few bucks to have it. I don't know. There's a couple people who I know are into fantasy stuff. So I'll talk a little bit about how I finished this. I didn't look at any tutorials or anything, which I probably should have, but I didn't. So first, I just found some scrap cotton fabric I had laying around, and I sewed it by hand with white sewing thread all the way around the border, and I was careful not to let it overlap with any of the colored stuff. Then I trimmed it quite close to the sewing on the back, the fabric, and then I trimmed the Ada, and I was planning to only do like 1 square's worth, but I started with 2 to see if I'd like it, and I decided I liked that better. So I was thinking of doing the unraveling thing, but that wouldn't have worked on these. I don't know if it would have worked. Probably not on this angled bit. So anyway, here's the bookmark. If someone, you know, bids $5 for it, I'll be happy, honestly. Yeah, I didn't really. I just picked it because I wanted to try a more complicated project before I got into Blue-Haired Girl, which I will show again because I put a few stitches in it, but not yet. Okay, so that's my FFO. And then here I have a finish. You saw this last time. My cute little octopuses. This is actually the first pattern I saw on dailycrossstitch.com. I think I saw it on Pinterest, and I really, really liked it, which is what got me into the website in the first place. But it's taken me until now to actually make them. So, and this is actually all like washed and pressed and stuff. So it's ready to go. I need to hit up Michael's and get some hoops and stuff. Talk about that in a minute. Right, and I wanted to talk about 18 count Ada, which is what all of my little animals are on. I love it. I love it so much. The coverage is so much better than on the larger count, and I really, really like it. So yeah, I'm a convert. Unless I have a really good reason to use a larger count, I don't think I'm going to go back to that. I mean, for a lot of my future projects, I'm planning to try out even weave anyway, but yeah, so that's that. Let's see. Okay, the next thing I came up with is this really brilliant innovation, which I'm sure many of you have already figured out on your own, was I put my scissors on a cord. And I've been meaning to do this for ages, so I can put it around my neck and they don't get lost. So yeah, I know, really clever, right? But, oh right, and I can also, I use paper patterns, so I can like clip my highlighter to it so that doesn't get lost either. Very convenient. And I actually stitch reclining on the couch, rather like this, and do it this way. And if the pattern is big, I drape it over my knees. So, probably not really the best ever for my back, but that's what I do. Oh, I forgot to show you my My whips. Okay, I'll get to that after this. Um, and I know a lot of you use needle minders for your scissors, and I would really like one. However, I live in Canada, and most of the needle minder makers that you guys have mentioned are not in Canada, and I don't want to pay for shipping for like a couple of little magnets. So I've been trying to find them locally. So I made a trip out to my sort of local needlework shop, but it is a knitting and needlework shop. And knitting in like big letters, which is fine. You know, knitting is good. I like to knit, like whatever. But all they had there for embroidery type stuff was floss. That's it. They didn't even have bobbins. I think they had a couple of needles and like a couple of hoops that were like way too small for me to find a use for. And I was really disappointed. Like, I went with a list, and all they had was floss. At least they had the colors that I needed. But yeah, I need bobbins. I'm actually out of bobbins, which I didn't think would ever happen. So I need to go to Michael's. I need to do that anyway because I'm planning to finish all of my little animals in hoops. And I only bought a couple of hoops, you know, just to work on. And I need to get some felt and stuff because I want to do the back in felt just so it looks nice and whatever. So I need to measure all my projects now that they're washed. Like, because I washed the bookmark to finish it because I need to get that in pretty soon. I'm going to take it in today, which is why I'm doing the video. But yeah, so I need that. I need hoops and I need bobbins. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, onto my whips, which I forgot to do, and I meant to before. Good thing I wrote my list, hey? I think this might be my last animal. It's a giraffe. And this is actually just one of the spots on its neck that happened to kind of connect with its face. It's not like its tongue sticking out or anything. Giraffe tongues are blue anyway, so that wouldn't make sense. This is a baby. There's going to be a mom standing beside it. I love its dorky little ears. I think it's really cute. So this pattern actually came, like, it has a tree branch with some leaves in the corner and some grass along the bottom. But I don't think I'm going to do that because none of the other animals have a background of any kind, even a minimal one. So I think that would look weird. So I'm just going to skip that, which means there's only like 4 colors in this project. And I only had black. That's the only color I had. So anyway, I probably could have substituted. I have several browns like this already, but you know, when there's like shading and stuff, I feel like I should probably buy it. I don't know. And I'll show you my blue-haired girl. I did a little bit of work on it because I was out of the colors and hadn't gotten to the store yet. And it was actually, I never thought I'd say this, but it was refreshing to do confetti. After doing all those blocks of just like solid colors, it was nice to do something different. But it was not nice to stitch in hand because I'm doing all the smaller projects in hoops, so the tension isn't great because they're cheap, crappy hoops. But oh my goodness, I miss having tension. It's a pain in the butt. And yeah, I really wish I had a scroll frame or Q-snaps or something. But like I've said before, I can't really change what I'm doing partway through because that would be, I think it would be pretty obvious. But here's blue-haired girl. She doesn't really look much different than she did last time you saw her. I don't think. Let me see. Can you see that? There we go. So I just, oops, dropped my mouse, but I just worked on this bit along here. I put in a few stitches. I probably only worked on this for like an hour or something in total. So yeah, still chugging along on that. But here she is. But this last page that I'm working on, you can kind of see the green gridding as the page breaks. That's the last solid page I have to do. Some of the pages only have like a teeny bit of like little curly cues and stuff. So once I finish that page, I'll be like more than halfway done, I think. So yeah, I'm still chugging along on that. I think I'm almost done the nursery decor. Like I have a bunch more animal patterns, which I may or may not do. I have a unicorn, which I think I might do. But let's see. I'm just going to check my notes to see where I am. Okay, future plans, yes. So I'll try to find pictures of the patterns and insert them. And if that doesn't work, I'll have links in the description, which I'll put anyway, even if I find pictures. But anyway, I saw a pattern for a hot air balloon that is quite simplistic and I think would go with my little animals. And I really like the idea, the whimsy of like a circus that travels by a hot air balloon. Like, it's completely ridiculous because, I mean, you know, you can't, like, I guess you could do it if you had like mostly human performers with like minimal props and setup and stuff. Like, you probably wouldn't have any aerialists. You could have like jugglers and acrobats and things like that. You would not have hippos and elephants in a circus that travels by hot air balloon. But I personally don't think that you should have hippos and elephants in circus. I don't think this circus lifestyle is very good for wild animals. Like dogs and horses and things, I don't really have a problem with because, you know, they're okay with travel. As far as I know, well, dogs are. I don't know about horses, but wild animals like tigers and elephants and stuff, I don't think they belong in circuses. I'm putting them on my wall anyway, and I guess I'll have to make it pretty clear to the kid that this is fantasy only and shouldn't be done in real life. And since it's a fantasy about elephants and hippos who can hula hoop and whatnot, I kind of want to add a hot air balloon, and I'll have, you know, the balloon up here and maybe like semicircle of the animals down here and the unicorn up in the sky, if I do the unicorn, of course. So I don't really like the pictures it comes with because the wall it's going to be on is blue and that balloon is mostly blue. So I may try to change the colors. I'm kind of nervous about doing that, but I feel like I probably could manage it. We'll see. And after all this nursery stuff is done, and after my blue-haired girl is done, my next big project is I saw a carousel that Carolyn posted, and she said she was afraid to do it. And once I look at it, I may be afraid to do it too. But I'm the kind of person who's like, well, I'll try and do my best. Because she said there's a lot of fractional stitching and back stitching. However, in my dragon bookmark, there was a ton of fractional stitching and back stitching and blended threads. And it was a pain in the butt. And it was like the second project I've ever done. So, you know, I'm like, I could, you know, it's fine. But I saw, like, the colors, and I really like carousels and horses and that whole deal. And I've actually been kind of looking for a pink mermaid reclining, like the long way, to put in my bathroom because I think that would be really nice. But most of the mermaids I see are like portrait rather than landscape, and I haven't seen any pink ones. But that is landscape and it's pink and it would look really nice in my bathroom. So I would like to do that after my blue-haired girl. I was kind of planning to do a Mirabilia after my blue-haired girl, but I think I may do the carousel. I should just buy those patterns just so they're on hand. I think the carousel is pretty cheap and so is the balloon. So I don't like to buy that much, like I don't like to have a ton of stash because I don't want to spend money on stuff that I may not ever do. But when it's only like $5 or $10, it's like, well, you know. So those are my future plans and a small project that I would like to do. I'm not on a strict rotation, but I like to have a big project and a small, easy project. So I can kind of switch between. Although I have been focusing on the small projects because I want to get them done before I run out of go. I'm 25 weeks and I'm running out of go, guys. Like, I was pretty energetic for a few weeks there and it's, yeah, not so much. My back and hips are really, I'm in a lot of pain a lot of the time, so that doesn't lend itself very well to this crafty business. Anyway, So I think I'm getting pretty close to done. I may do 1 or 2 more animals, but I want to do the balloon and like lay them out and, you know, finish them, lay them out and see if I have enough and maybe start putting them on the wall, although I don't have my crib yet and I want them above the crib, so maybe not. But anyway, so there are my plans. I don't really have any questions for you guys, but if you have any questions for me, let me know. And have a nice day. I hope you get to work on some stuff. And I will see you later.